one of the things we had to do was a lot of security education awareness. There were false maps that were actually links to malicious websites.
Let's talk about what your thoughts are on being an effective leader during this time. I know there's a big focus on the business function, as well as keeping things secure, but it's all about, relationships and communication, which I think is really key right now. So, Devin, let's start with you and get your thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, and you're right. The COVID really kind of rose to the front, and I have to brief my board on a quarterly basis, and I usually have one or two slides that says COVID and security. And so I have to talk to them about what's the effect, how are we responding, what different threats are out there. I think everybody can agree we've seen more attacks that claim to have some sort of, or that did have some sort of tie to COVID because of claims that are making about cures, equipment, anything. And so we saw a huge increase in that activity. I think it increased 60% from Q4 of 2019 to Q1 of 2020. And all of it was kind of built around the COVID theme. And so with that, one of the things we had to do was a lot of security education awareness. There were false maps that were actually links to malicious websites. So we were constantly taking a lot of this information we were getting and pushing it out to our user community, say, be aware, be advised. These malicious websites are popping up. These email campaigns are being done. And just being able to educate your user base was really important for us. And then on top of that, and we'd already talked about the securing the remote technologies, really beefing that up and making sure we could secure it effectively, but not disrupt the business while the business was in the middle of transitioning to doing everything remote. And I think Mark and Mia will agree with me. For us, it tends to be business as usual from the security standpoint. We just have to change, maybe our threat vectors and what we're focusing on in that regard, and just shifting our focus a little bit. But we've always monitored. We've always had tools. We've always had capability. We've always done education. We just might have had to do more of it. And so there was an adoption of that, but also with the heavier operational focus, because the operation wasn't always focused on remote capabilities. They were focused on the network in the building or in the data centers. And now they've had to shift their focus to more of the remote capabilities and more of the cloud services. So we had to become more adept at, all right, what operationally are you trying to do with customer service? What are you trying to do on the medical side? What are you trying to do with billings and payments and processing claims? And how are you doing that all remotely? So it caused a little bit of shift in the day-to-day operation. And what are we doing to secure that function? So that's really where our biggest impact has been.
I'm much more engaged in business conversations and availability conversations since COVID happened. And I don't know if that's just by nature of there's a lot more focus on that and understanding how do we maintain available systems. Security has been somewhat, I'll say, I'm going to knock on somewhat managed, right? We've been really working on this, but now you really got to think about how we're managing our systems and driving availability and ensuring that we're integrating the right controls, whether they're IT controls or operational controls or security controls into the affiliates that we have. So I'm much more engaged in business discussions than I think I ever have been before since COVID.